Okay, good afternoon, cadre. Alright, so I'm going to do my second shave vlog here today, and by request I'm going to use the Rolls razor again, same as yesterday, and I'm also continuing my 3017 of the Chiseled Face Summer Storm. It's a really nice scent, definitely hit the nail on the head with the name of it there. Brush today is going to be the Omega 4. Get going. Good. Water here. All right. I hope everybody's having a good day today. I'm going to be heading into my last night shift for the week. I'll get some days off. Looks like the Yuma razor from the pass around, it's just getting started. It'll be showing up probably tomorrow. So if we'll see what happens. I might, if I get a chance, I'll try to use it on Wednesday maybe. Get that on video if I can. Well, I'm gonna get the first shave on video, so if I can't get it on video on Wednesday, then I won't use it until I can a little bit later, but I think I should be able to. Get more water here. This boar brush definitely seems to get along really well with these Chiseled Face soaps. I've got the Cryogen that I've been using for a while when I really need a wake me up kind of shave. But it just runs a little bit wet, which the brush does, which the soap seems to really enjoy. So that's gonna be good. Alright, and see guys, I don't always use a super thin lather. That's not too bad. Okay, so then yeah, here we go. Rolls razor straight on a stick, as it's been known. Only place that I have issues with this is right in the center of my upper lip. Because as you can see, it's kind of a wide blade, and you got to have a really steep angle like a straight. And so with the handle back there and everything, it just doesn't quite fit underneath the nose properly. So I have to hit that later with kind of more of an across kind of thing. But I can kind of get to the sides here. Still got bingo going on the Condre. That's been a lot of fun this time with the monkey making his calls. So far he hasn't been too mean to us, so we'll see how that progresses, since he feels like he's making his calls a little too easy, I think. But it's definitely been fun. We got several people that are getting close to winning, potentially. Gotta get those right calls. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that this is a very steep angle that I'm using. It's almost flat on my face. One nice thing though is that it does, if you can see it, it does have like rounded corners on that front corner, so it's not gonna like get you. You do still gotta ease up on the pressure a lot, but it's not gonna get you if you go a little too hard with those corners, like some straights will do. I'm not quite as proficient with my left hand using something with a handle like this as I am with a straight razor. Because, well, I'm not as proficient with these handled type razors anymore anyway. I don't use them very often. That's part of why I joined the pass around for the Yuma, just to try to get more experience with these style of razors, or handled razors in general, because I just don't have much. Definitely curious to see what Chad's next bad blade's going to be. Just did the Topaz something, I think it was. Thought it was going to start it off strong and then just peed it off real quick. But apparently they're not bad if you want to use blade like one time and then call it good. All right. Alright, I'm gonna pause you guys for a second here and get rinse off, and we'll get lathered up again. Alright. Yeah. So if you guys hadn't already seen it, if you're just watching this video, or if you're not even from the cadre, I posted last night a short little video about the Rolls razor, showing it kind of how the mechanism works for stropping it and the case it's in and all that. It's over in our single edge area. You can go check that out, and there's some pictures in there too, if you're at all curious and hadn't seen it yet. It's a pretty cool little razor. It's from the, mine is just going by the box and whatnot. Sounds like it's probably a 1930s model. So it's a decently old little piece of shaving history. They stopped making them sometime in the 50s, so, but you can still find quite a few of them out there on eBay and whatnot. You just might have to piece together a working kit sometimes. Definitely want to stress a light touch if you're going to use one of these, especially when you start going against the grain. You just want that thing to be barely touching you, because it can bite if you go too hard. And yeah, basically being that it is a straight on a stick, it has that that bar on there, but you still get a lot of blade feel from this thing. So it's definitely nice to have a good smooth edge on it to begin with. Sounds like we got something going on around the Air Force Base. Lots of planes flying around today. Well, that's almost bad. Bar stuck in some semi-dried soap and flipped itself, so that kind of saved me a little bit there. Not sure that that's actually a technical feature, but it worked. All right, I think that is gonna do it for me. Let me rinse off and witch hazel, and then I will be back. All right, guys, got stuff cleaned up. Got witch hazel on. So that's shave with the Rolls razor. A couple of cleanup items that you need to note that are kind of important. So for that, always when you pop the blade out of the handle, to make sure it's all good and cleaned off. I like to kind of just run it like you're stropping it a little bit on a towel to make sure you get all the outside dried off really well. And then you need to, so you got the hole in the back where the little thing that holds it inside the case goes. You gotta like thump that a couple of times on the towel. Make sure you get all that moisture out of there. I usually kind of blow in there a little bit. You don't want any moisture on that because it'll rust the thing from the inside out. I think Sharps was asking on the forum what kind of steel this is. I don't know exactly, but it is definitely a carbon steel blade. It's not stainless. And because all it says on here is best Sheffield steel. So, but yeah, so I just kind of take it a little bit of that there. Make sure you get both sides, kind of get that bar as dry as you can. Don't want any moisture on this when you put it away. And then what I usually do is I'll put it in the case, but I'll leave it kind of standing up a little bit. Actually, let me go grab it and I'll show you. All right, so there's the case. It's got that little spike that it sits on. So I'll put it in there and I'll go ahead and turn it so it's held in place by the spring. And then I like to just let it sit there. If you want to make sure it doesn't go anywhere, you can hook the handle kind of over that part there to just keep it a little bit locked in place like that as it's sitting on the counter or shelf or something. But I like to let it sit for a good half hour at least, open like this before I put it away, just to make sure it is good and dry. But also, you should probably give it a good strop so you can kind of see how that goes. I've seen some people really rip on these, just go super fast, but I'm kind of afraid. It is a hologram blade, so that edge is a little bit on the thinner side. I'd be afraid to do this too terribly hard, but you do gotta let it flop over just enough to flip that bar. But yeah, so then just let that ease it on up and let it sit up like that so that it can dry out and not give you any rusty blade issues. So I think that's going to be about it. Aftershave today is going to be the Avon Deep Woods. Changing it up a little bit from the Summer Storm, which is not a bad aftershave. It kind of grew on me a little bit. Initially it was kind of shocking how different it was from the soap. comes across a lot more kind of like a pine resin smell is like the strong note I get out of it. But it dries down pretty subtle, so it's not like in your face too bad. Whereas this one's just much more kind of green, foresty. Just nice. Pairs well, at least in my opinion. So, thanks for joining me today, guys, and I will see y'all around the cadre.